Yo guys, what is going down? It's MC Noble here. Welcome back to another video. So today we're doing a vinyl video which I've not done for a while, and we're going to be going through my house stroke funky house collection. Now this isn't all of my house, but this is like the main ones and some of my favourite ones. So about just over a year ago I started collecting records more frequently, taking it more seriously, and then I stopped. I think the last time I got any records was January, but the other day I realised how many like house and funky house records I actually own. So I thought what I'd do today is kind of do a little showcase of all the ones I've collected so far and all the ones I actually own. So let's begin. So first off, we've got David Guetta versus The Egg. Love Don't Let Me Go, Walking Away. This is a really cool track. It was also featured on the Citroen C4 car advert. And it's just got that nice funky house vibe to it. So I do like to spin this when I'm doing vinyl sets, and I did play it in the live stream the other day. Next up, we've got Mason versus Princess with Perfect Exceeder. I've known this tune for years. It's an absolute classic. It's just amazing. You get the vocal club mix, you get the instrumental mix, and you get a remix as well. So you're getting the more like the best of three worlds. Next up, we've actually got Jack Your Body, which is an empty sleeve at the moment because we played this the other day and it is still on the record player because it was one of the last songs that we actually played. So it's a really good tune. As this again, it was also featured on the C4 car advert. Next up, we've got Kencraft 400 with Zombie Nation. I do have the sleeve for this somewhere, but what happened is I bought a load of records from a friend. The sleeve was within the bundle, but there was no record in the sleeve, and only just recently I found this record inside of a different sleeve, but I just need to find where I put the correct sleeve, if that makes sense. Next up, we've got Tomcraft with Loneliness. This was a classic Ministry of Sound tune, and I actually only just found a hardcore version of this the other day. Well, nearly 2 weeks ago now, and it's just a banger of a tune. So again, you get the club mix, get a couple of remixes, so you're getting the best of a few worlds. Next up, we've actually got Freaks to Creeps. Classic tune is this, Freaks to Creeps. And this is the Get on the Dance Floor with the Vandalism vocal mix. And you get a couple of remixes as well. Again, you know, you get a few remixes, couple of different versions if you don't always want to drop the original versions. Next up, we've actually got Benny Benassi with their classic Satisfaction. I played this one the other day as well. And it's probably one of Benny Benassi's, probably one of his most popular songs. And again, it's been remixed so many times. It's always on like throwback albums and things like that. It's just a pure classic at the end of the day. Next up, we've got Uniting Nations, You and Me. This is actually one of their most popular tracks, along with Out of Touch, which I do have that somewhere. I don't think it's in this pile, but sadly I couldn't find it. I know it's in my pile somewhere, but Uniting Nations are a duo, and they're just absolutely fantastic. They had some banging tunes that got released on Guest Records. And again, Uniting Nations with this tune and Out of Touch was one of their most popular sort of like releases. Next up, we've got Freddie Legrand versus Camille Jones, and this is again another tune called The Creeps. This is called The Creeps as well. So it's not Freaks to Creeps, it's a completely different tune, but it's just got the same track title. Again, it's another banger. It's not my favourite tune, but it is it's still a good track nevertheless. Next up, we've got the Shapeshifters with Lola's theme. Now, I just love this tune. It's very, again, it's just got that really nice sort of like soulful groove to it. It's like a mixture of soul and funk. Funk like funky house and like soul house, and it's just got like a really good vibe to it, and it's just something that makes you want to just sort of dance and groove, and it's one of them, again, you put it on and you just can't help but sing it. Next up, we've got David Morales with How Would You Feel? And this is a banger. This is probably, if not my most favourite David Morales track. I do like his Needing You, but I just like the vocals in this, and I just like the sort of like the way that the structure of the track. It's just a really good track, so it probably is one of my most favourite David Morales tunes of all time. Next up, we've got Tom Novy with Your Body. I did like this tune, but it's a little boring. It gets a little repetitive. There's not really anything, it's not really got anything going on with it other than I don't want nobody, baby, but you. Something about your body. It's got me thinking I'm nobody but you. And it just sort of like repeats the same vocal, really. Nice little riff, nice little sort of melody to it, but doesn't really do anything else other than that. So I like it. I don't love it, but I play it from time to time because it is still a classic. Next up, we've got Black Legend, You See Trouble With Me. This always reminds me of like an early deep house track. It's got that sort of like deep house vibe to it, like what you hear on YouTube and stuff now on them like select channels, and is it like Aero and sort of like the best sounds or something like that, and you get these like deep house remixes. Reminds me of one of them. But it's a good tune. It's a really good classic. It's always been one of my favourites in terms of like funky house and things and classics. Next up, we've got the Shapeshifters with Back to Basics. I like this. It's a tune I forgot about, and then I was in a record shop quite a while ago now, before Christmas, and I was just going in doing my usual buy. I saw it was the Shapeshifters. So I thought, I couldn't remember the tune, but I was a bit like, you know what, I'm going to kind of see this and buy it, see what it sounds like. And then when I played it, brought back memories, and I've just kind of like gotten right into it, and I just love it. Again, it's just a really funky tune. It gets you grooving, gets you moving. It's wicked. Next up, we've got Max Graham versus Yes with Owner of a Lonely Heart. Now, I love this song, but I don't love it as much as I did. It's like I forgot about it, I rediscovered it, and I went absolutely nuts on it, and I loved it for ages. I was mixing it, I was playing it, and then I just kind of got a little bit bored of it, and then I didn't play it for ages, and I played it again the other week, and it just basically sounds really good again, and I actually quite like it again. It's a nice little bootleg stroke remix of a 80s classic, Owner of a Lonely Heart. Next up, we've got Studio B, I See Girls. I've always liked this tune. It's like, it reminds me of an R&B stroke a house track, but it's got that more housey feel to it, but the vocal kind of reminds me of like something you would sort of see in the charts, but it's just got a really good vibe to it. I love the rapping in it and sort of like the vocals. It's just, it's I don't know, it's just a good track, and it just reminds me of like good times, and you just want to sing along to it. Next up, we've got Star to Fall, and this is Cabin Crew. This is an absolute classic tune. This come out around 2005. I do vaguely remember it coming out, and again, it just brings some really good vibes to it. Next up, we've got the Southside Hustlers, Southside Players, sorry, South Street Players, when I can get it right. This is Who Keeps Changing Your Mind, and I actually do like this tune. It's a little repetitive, because it's like, who keeps changing your mind? And it repeats that quite a lot, but it's got a nice little funky groove to it, and it does just get you sort of moving and put you in a bit of a good mood, which is what I like with a funky house track. Next up, we've got Michelle Guile with Do You Know? Again, this is another classic, Do You Know? And I think this is taken from, I think it's originally a bit like an R&B stroke, like a old hit song. And then it kind of like got done into sort of like a clubby version in the 90s. And then, of course, Angel City did the sort of like remix with the Robert Miles Children, which I think that become more popular in terms of dance music, but if you do like your classic house, you would remember this version. We've got Expressive Sound, and this is a good tune, is this Expressive Sound. Again, it almost reminds me of an early like deep house tune, and it's got a really deep house vibe to it, but it just sounds really good. It's like deep house with a classic feel to it. And it's just something that makes you want to move and makes you want to groove, and something that gives you an absolutely amazing feeling. Next up, we've got Take Me Away. This is the High J and M and E manual remix. This is a really good version of the tune. It's got a really good funky vibe to it. Really nice little melody comes in. Just once again, you get dancing, you love it, and you just can't help but love it. Next up, we've got Blaze featuring Barbara Tucker with Most Precious Love, Tonight Defected in the House. And it's got the Freemasons remix, it's got the Ian Carey remix, it's got the Freemasons extended mix as well. It's a really good banger of a tune, is this. I've always loved Precious Love. And I just like the vocals to it as well. Just reminds me of like someone going on a night out and just dancing and singing. We've got Bob Sinclair, I Feel For You. Very early Bob Sinclair track. Not one of my favourite Bob Sinclair tracks. I sort of liked it when Bob Sinclair went a little bit more like, a little bit almost like reggae, but adding these sort of like little guitars and the sweet sound of freedom. Feel the Love Generation, Rock the Party, they were kind of like some really good tracks with them. Whereas this one is a little bit more like a soulful classic house tune that is good. It's just not what I really like Bob Sinclair for. Next up, we've got Stonebridge with Put Them High featuring These. A classic track, one of my favourites. Just absolutely love it. Who wouldn't love it? It just brings nothing but good vibes. We've got the Dancing Divas remix, the Axwell remix, and the club mix. Next up is the Boogie Pimps, Somebody to Love, obviously taken from the classic itself. And again, this just brings nothing but good vibes, and you can't help but just love what the tune's got to offer. Next up, we've got Nervous Records, and this is Brian Stingley with his classic tune, Get Up Everybody. I don't actually have the sleeve for this. I've never had a sleeve for it. I got it given, and I've never had a sleeve for it. But it's a classic tune. I love the vocal. The guy who just sings it just sounds really, really cool and almost like old school in it. Like, not old school house, but like a really old school, a bit almost like in a way like a Frank Sinatra track, just with a really, you really hear the voice and, time to get up everybody. Again, it just brings them good vibes that you want to hear in a song. Next up, we've got Brad Carter with Morning Always Comes Too Soon. It's actually right as well. Once you get to sleep, the morning soon comes. Most definitely. Next up is the Wham Dew Project with King of My Castle, classic 90s tune. If you don't know it, you've been living under a rock. It's just a banger. I mean, I ain't going to go into, you get the point, that they're good tunes. We've got Praise Cats with Shined On Me, absolute classic. We've got Sandy Rivera, I Can't Stop. We've got Mafasta with I Submit to You, Subliminal. Really good label is Subliminal. We've got Kings of Tomorrow with Young Hearts. So there you go, Kings of Tomorrow, ripping up Young Hearts. Room 5 with Make Love. This was also featured on a Lynx advert years ago. This was again around the 2005 time, early 2000s. We have Deepest Blue, which is one of my all-time favourite tracks. I just love the vocal. We have Stonebridge with a with a limited edition remix of Put Them High. And there's also an a cappella as well on this as well, but there's like Steve Angelo remixes and stuff on here. We've got Spiller, Groove Jets, and If This Ain't Love, classic 90s tune. Again, if you don't know it, you've been living under a rock. We've got Danzel with Pump It Up, which came quite popular again a couple of years back when, Endor did like a tech house remix of it, and then there was like another bounce remix that got made of it. A couple of good remixes on here. We've got Express 2 with Lazy. I just love the concept of this tune. I love the vocals. We've got Mojo with Lady. So Lady, Hear Me Tonight. You know this one again. Some good remixes. We've got like the original version as well. We've got the Pawn Kings with Up to No Good. Always love this track. We've got the DJ Quicksilver mix, the original mix, and some other mixes as well. We've got Technotronic with Dons, and this is Pump Up the Jam. So you get the original, and you get some nice little extended mixes, remixes. We've got Angel City with Love Me Right. Again, another absolute classic, and when you think of old school dance tunes, this is definitely a tune that sort of like swings into mind. We've got Paul Adam Walter with Brutal House. He does a splendid remix of this Brutal House from the 80s. We've got the Freeloaders with So Much Love to Give. This again is just another classic. We've got Static Revenger, Happy People. Martin Solveig with Jealousy. We've got the Ones with Superstar, the same people that did the track Flawless. We've got Holy Ghost with Superman, which is an absolute classic tune, really good piano riff in it. We've got Aaron Smith featuring Lovely with their tune Dancing. We've got Blaze featuring Palmer Brown, Do You Remember House? Classic tune this. An absolute stomper of a classic with the Happy Clappers, I believe. Whoa, I believe. Trying to get through these now. We've got the Boogie Pimps with Sunny, classic Boogie Pimps. We've got Johnny D.I. Roscoe with Mambo Jambo. Some more classics for you. We've got the Payback. We've got the Payback. Everybody Needs Somebody. We've got the Superman Lovers with Starlight. We've got Freddie Legrand, Put Your Hands Up for Detroit. We've got some remixes of Beat Freaks with Super Freak. So again, some really, really good remixes. Herds and Fits featuring Abigail Bailey with I Just Can't Get Enough. We've got the We Are EP by Sebastian Ledger. Again, a little Defected Records EP. We've got Gadjo with Alexandra Prince, So Many Times. And we also have Channel, My Life, released on Head Candy. We've got the Soul Avengers featuring Jane and Javine, Don't Let the Morning Come. So, for some reason, they don't want the morning to come. I've got a little white labelled remix of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. Brings a little funky house remix version of Billie Jean. We've got Kings of Tomorrow with Finally. Their absolute classic tune, Finally. And finally, the final record, we have Peter Gelderblom with Waiting For, which is just, again, an absolute tune. And I really, really love this. It's he's done an amazing job of remixing the Red Hot Chili Peppers, by the way. And it's just an absolute banger of a tune. And there we go. So I did sort of start to rush through them as we got like further into the video because I didn't want the video to go on too long. But that's my funky house. So let me know, comment below. Would you like to see another video of me doing like another sort of like genre of music? I can do like hard house, I can do trance, I can do a little bit of hardcore. So let me know what you want to see next. But I would say the funky house is definitely my biggest genre. You know, I've collected the most house records. Hard house I think is my second biggest. And also, before we do end the video, I do apologise if you've heard a dog barking all the way through the video. It's not my dog, it's a dog that's out there at another house, and it just barks and barks and barks, and I'm surprised he's not got a sore throat from barking. But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, share. We're close to 1k. Let's smash it, crew. Peace out.